For this edition, Boom is celebrating the universal concept of shamanism. We touch base with healer Vicky Sinclair on this theme. She will be the moderator of Contemporary Shamanism and Sacred Ritual, a very timely talk at the Liminal Village during Boom 2016. According to this transpersonal eco psychologist and ethnographer, transformational festivals can provide opportunities for rites of passage to unifying states of consciousness, opening doors for the awakening and transcendence.
For me, what I see is this potential, especially at this time of the planet, to remember how connected we are and that there's a space for everybody. Because under the chaos of the free party and the trans parties, we could organise things and people would know who did what, yet they'd never met somebody, and there'd be 10,000 people there. And I think some people have forgotten about the magic of it. And what drew me to Boom, not only being the theme, was that I know that Boom is a really conscious festival, and I believe that we're now in a new evolutionary cycle, and many people have Kundalini awakenings and shamanic awakenings and mystical experiences at festivals. And I believe that if we're able to create a container to explain to people a little bit more about the consciousness and what we can actually do together when we enter into the group mind, that we can become so much more aligned with each other as a tribe, and therefore more aligned with our communities, and most importantly, of course, to be more aligned with Pachamama, with the Earth Mother, and which is another great thing that Boom does.
As part of the group of speakers at the Liminal Village on a day dedicated to shamanism, this woman, born in Northern Ireland, comes to Boom with some ideas and information to share with the audience. For this trauma and post-colonial theorist, there is a clear message to channel down with all of us.
I think we need to really think about conscious partying and to understand that hedonism has its place, but to understand there's a context to why we come together. So we will maybe explore how we enter into a unified field of consciousness together. I really will be asking some of the audience to share some of their experiences and their awakenings. In true essence, where they're like Liminal Village at the edge of their community, observing and coming in when they get divine sort of messages or divine acknowledgements of things. Then they start to switch off the ego and the monkey mind, and they start to work as a tribal divine being. And we truly can create a world which is very opposite to what we're experiencing right now through the news and the media. So I guess I want to share with people experiences, and then we want to create a unified field of consciousness, and then we're going to give some earth offerings to align us with the ecosystem of the Boom site.
How does shamanism work nowadays? Is it possible to manage our own balance with plant medicines?
We have a way to affect in space and time our health, our luck, our communication with our other friends and beings, and we've forgotten that. And it's, I guess, about people understanding that they are agents of the past and the present and the future, where the Aborigines in Australia call it the dreaming. Some people call it the dream time. Everything is non-linear and everything is now. So for me, it's about how we can assist people to get into quantum consciousness, because one thing that people are taking entheogens for is actually to clear trauma from their ancestral line. So many people self-medicate and go into these trance states because they're actually clearing trauma. What we're finding is that people can clear 7 lines of bad DNA or junk or badly programmed DNA or traumatized DNA. They can clear that on a quantum timeline. So, and this is something that the indigenous people know and have practiced for many years. And this is one of the reasons why many people are coming to entheogens, and especially plant medicines that contain DMT, because somehow they know that in order to go through this evolutionary shift that we're in, we have to do something with our DNA. And I think that's something that we can learn to be more conscious about. And indigenous science and Western science, which is far behind, are correlating on this at the moment.
Finally, do you think that the mystical experiences in shamanic rites have been trivialized in Western society?
We have to be very, very careful to explain to people that shamanism is a life and death situation, and some people don't live through it, okay? And true shamanic awakenings go through a lot of suffering. And certainly, I would hope that people come and have a transcendental experience, and many people will have an awakening. But that is, I guess, why a lot of us are coming, is to provide support for people who are having those awakenings, and to hopefully provide a context to people to say, you're having a spiritual experience, but this may not be shamanic. One thing I think could be a danger is that we have a lot of issues at the moment with lots of young adults thinking they're the chosen one. Being a shaman often means a lot of isolation, being rejected by your community, mental health issues, really serious illnesses, and years of turmoil. So shamanism is hard work. Even if not everybody is a shaman, we all have the capacity to enter into mystical experiences and to find our spiritual sovereignty within, and to find out how we relate with the cosmos and the ecosystem. So I'm so grateful to Boom for also having conjured up that this was the year for the theme of shamanism, because I feel that this is totally in keeping with the dreaming of where the festival scene is at as a global awakening circuit.